This video is about the Greco-Persian Wars. The Greco-Persian Wars were a series of battles fought between the Greeks and the Persians in ancient times. Although the Greek city-states often fought each other, such as in the Peloponnesian War, in this case the Greeks had a common enemy who invaded their homeland, the Persians. This war lasted for roughly 20 years from 499 to 479 BCE. In this latest Pepi list, I will cover the Ionian Revolt, the Battle of Marathon, the Battle of Thermopylae, the Battle of Salamis, and the Battle of Plataea. The first topic on the list is the Ionian Revolt. To start off the Greco-Persian Wars, we need to talk about the main combatants. The dominant empire in this region during the ancient world was the Persian Empire. It conquered the Greek city-states on the coast of Anatolia, on the coast of the Aegean Sea. This area is called Ionia, but it is confusing because the Ionian Sea is on the western coast of Greece. Nonetheless, this area has that name. In 546 BCE, the Persians conquered these Greek cities. After 50 years, the Greeks revolted against the Persians in 499 BCE. The Athenians helped the Ionian cities for a while, but then left. In revenge, the Persians burned the Greek city of Miltiades to the ground, ending the revolt and leaving the city in ruin. Second on the list is the Battle of Marathon. The Battle of Marathon took place in 490 BCE, and you guessed it, the athletic event called the Marathon is connected to this historic battle. The Persian king Darius sent an army to punish the Athenians for helping the Ionians. This was a surprise victory for the Greeks. The Greeks, under the leadership of Miltiades, waited until the Persian cavalry was absent from the battlefield, and on the plains of Marathon, outside of Athens, the Greeks almost surrounded the Persians, who fled back to their ships in defeat. According to a legend, a messenger was sent from Marathon to Athens and died of exhaustion upon declaring the victory. The distance was about 25 miles. The other account, by Herodotus, says that a runner was sent from Athens to Sparta to announce the victory. Either way, a long foot race of 26.2 miles is now called a marathon. Third on the list is the Battle of Thermopylae. 10 years after the Battle of Marathon, in 480 BCE, the Battle of Thermopylae took place. Although the Greeks held back the Persians, eventually the Persians found a path around the Greek forces and surrounded the Greeks. This was a tragic sacrifice and defeat for the Greeks, but the Persians lost a lot of soldiers in the process. The leader of the Persians was the Emperor Xerxes, and the leader for the Greeks was King Leonidas of the Spartans. After the Greeks were betrayed and the Persian army was in danger of encircling them, Leonidas and 300 Spartans made a last stand at Thermopylae, allowing most of the Greek forces to escape. The defending Greeks fought to the last man, delaying the Persian advance. This battle has reached legendary status, with many movies and memes in celebration of the defiance against overwhelming odds. Fourth on the list is the Battle of Salamis. Also in 480 BCE, there was an important sea battle at Salamis. Here the Greeks outsmarted the Persians with their tactics and strategy. Greek triremes rammed and sank the Persian navy by understanding the geography of their surroundings. The Greeks fled Athens to Salamis to escape the wrath of the Persians after the Battle of Thermopylae. Athens was burned to the ground. The Greek naval commander, Themistocles, knew that he could defeat the Persians if he led their ships through a narrow channel to get rid of the Persians' numerical advantage. The Greeks lured the Persians into the channel, divided their navy, and rammed the scattered fleet, sinking hundreds of Persian ships. Xerxes was fooled and outmaneuvered by Themistocles. There is a Greek folktale that says that an Athenian left his dog behind in Athens, and that the dog was so loyal that it swam all the way to the island of Salamis to reunite with his owner. Although Plutarch's tale is a legend, it's still a cool story. Last on the list is the Battle of Plataea. In 479, the Battle of Plataea took place, and the Greeks finally drove the Persians out of the mainland. A united army of 80,000 Athenian Spartans and their allies were victorious that day. This battle ended the Greco-Persian Wars. Athens was eventually rebuilt and a golden age of Greece began. Years later, the Greeks would invade under the Macedonian king Alexander the Great. He conquered all of Persia, killed the Persian king, and established a Hellenic empire across much of the ancient world. In summary, this Pepi list covered 5 important topics of the Greco-Persian Wars. First, I covered the Ionian Revolt, then the Battle of Marathon, then the Battle of Thermopylae, followed by the Sea Battle of Salamis, and finally, the Battle of Plataea. I hope you like this information about the Greco-Persian Wars. Please subscribe to my channel.